We will then have a moderator-led discussion about the processes that were instituted in the competition, the outcomes and transformations of the people that participated, and we're going to be specifically focusing on the impact to Potomac Valley Brick in their participation and leadership of this program. We're going to pose some questions to them, and we would really like to have you all interact in this discussion as well. This has not been staged in any way. We shared these questions only last night with the panel, and the point of the questions is really to illustrate how much evolution there's been in the thinking of the individuals involved in the process over the last year and a half, and that really is the basic quality of the exercise. We've all been changed and educated and evolved in this process. And you may notice that Alan is smiling on the days there. He knows just how much he's changed in this process.
Rob and Peter set the stage perfectly because as a masonry materials brick sales firm that's been in the area now for over 30 years, we got challenged with where are we now? What do we need to do in the economic environment we're in 2 years ago, which we're still in, but the green movement, where we were with LEED, how we could understand the thought process and the procedures that our sales team needed to take to address the architectural community when it came to LEED, green, sustainability, and how they were thinking about it. So our expectations, if I set the stage, that's exactly why I did call Peter, so that we could get some education for our sales team about where we were. So that's our first expectation, or my first expectation, was to how this competition, how we could educate our sales team and how we could get a competition and use the design community to help us, which is, for us, outside of the box. I mean, we look to BIA, our institute, for the ideas from their engineers and their guidance on how we can address LEED, whether we can get a 0.38 different ways, and we knew that that's not really realistic. So we looked to have something from this competition that would get us education of our sales team, interaction with the design community so we could listen to whether it's the architectural design community, engineering, environmental, how they looked at brick as it affected their designs, and let them help instruct us so that we could have a more educated sales team and better interaction with the design community. So my expectations were that we would get that we would have interaction, we could get some new ideas. The competition it evolved through 6 months of discussions of how this competition was going to play a part in what we did.
The big surprise was that was really in the response. As a member of the design community, you sort of think of the industry as this big thing that's out there and is unresponsive. It's the other. It's the great unknown other, and we react to them. They don't necessarily react to us. That's sort of the cynical view of the materials industry. The big surprise was really in how the information that we created was received, and in how the follow-up has gone. Rather than throwing our entry into the memory hole or using it as sort of a PR stunt, I think the sponsors of the competition have shown that they're very, very interested in the results that we came up with. And what happened, rather than the one awards ceremony and then thanks, see you later, it opened up really an ongoing dialogue about brick, about sustainable applications of brick, and it's created this conversation, I think, between the design community and the brick industry. And I think that's an incredibly positive outcome that I did not expect to see.
We received entries from 17 countries. We had winners from 4 countries, including the United States. The quality of the entries was very high. The jury was very engaged and enthusiastic about the whole thing. It was just exciting, sort of beyond what I had expected, and I'm very much looking forward to this upcoming competition.
It's expressed with the expectations. I mentioned 5 entries, so we had almost 100 responses to the call for entries, and we had almost 60 actual entries. So for the amount of entries, it really was tremendous, and it did meet my expectations, far beyond them. And I was very hesitant, as Peter and Rob know, in going international. I didn't know how a little company in Rockville, Maryland, and serving the Baltimore, Washington area could get involved in an international competition. So getting those entries from 17 countries, and then getting winners from 4, from Dubai, Mexico, from Qatar, I said Dubai, Qatar, and from Cyprus, was just unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say, I mean, I have been very closely involved with U.S. Green Building Council, and I've been a strong supporter of the LEED rating system, but I'm also very aware of its many criticisms and as well as its many shortcomings. But the LEED rating system is a tool, and it's like any other tool, and it can be used well, and it can be used and it can be abused. But I never thought about design as being responding to LEED. Rather, design really has to respond to the goals and objectives of the project. And achieving a LEED certification is not really the goal. The goal is to design an environmentally integrated and high-performing building. And if you do that, then LEED will be fine. And so when I met with Alan and his green team, and we started talking about this challenge, I mean, the thing that I tried to communicate to them was, well, what is it about brick that is inherently sustainable? How does this material fit into the kind of evaluations that we would consider when looking at materials for a building? So integrated design is a term that has gained a lot of strength in the last couple of years, and so was really just beginning to be touted about the time that this competition started, sort of in the mainstream. And so I think this is really what that is about, and I think that's really what sustainability is about.
LEED is still going to be the leading rating system. So what I've learned is how we have to integrate, not just in the building system, but integrate our education of how points relate to the buildings that are being built. It is important, but we need to also integrate the sustainability and the durability in what we're learning from energy efficiencies with our products. So while I was pretty critical of LEED when we started, I realized LEED has to be there. It is where we are today, so there is that rating system. So what I've really learned in how I look at LEED right now is that it is a tool for us and for our sales team to integrate our product into the LEED system by using our concept cards and understanding that eventually we will be talking about more sustainable, more energy efficient buildings. LEED, the USGBC, will have more on sustainability or sustainable design as well as durable designs.
I've been involved with LEED projects, most recently a LEED renovation at the University of New Mexico. Peter made the comment that design shouldn't be about trying to achieve LEED points. you know, if you design well, you should achieve the lead points, and I agree with that in theory. I know, though, in practice, sometimes there's a little bit of point brokering that you sometimes have to do when your institutional client says this building shall achieve LEED Gold, make it happen. And so sometimes you wind up making choices for points, and I think that's a bit of a downside of the LEED system. However, the upside of the LEED system is it is forcing clients to address the sustainability of their buildings, and it's what we've got. It's the best thing we've got, and it's really pushing the whole real estate development industry into more sustainable practices. I think brick is an inherently sustainable material. It is of the earth. It is very close to the earth. It's a benign material. It doesn't outgas. It doesn't, you know, depend upon petroleum products. It's typically regionally produced.
I do get very passionate and excited about that. It has the potential to really be a part of the thinking that's involved in the built environment. I mean, and sometimes I wonder, well, why is our little company doing that? And it really has a lot to do with Peter and with Rob drawing out from us our ideas and trying to put them in a cohesive format so that this competition that really has far exceeded where I thought it would go may go in the future.
Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you coming, and thank you all.
Thank you.